Welcome to Residential Property, the right way.
Welcome back to our Residential Property podcast. I'm Dion and I'm sat with Tony and Fern, and we're going to be talking about stamp duty on this episode, as most of us are aware that something's happening on the 1st of April following the budget changes. So, Tony, do you think you can give us a brief overview of what it is that's actually happening?
Yeah, so from April this year, April 25, for England and Northern Ireland, the changes are coming into play for stamp duty land tax. So at the moment, if you're a first-time buyer, currently you pay no stamp duty land tax on properties that are priced up to £425,000. Then after that, if it's £425,001 up to £625,000, it's 5%. From April, that change is going to be reduced down, so the tax-free threshold reduces from £425,000 to £300,000. After that, so £300,000 and one up to £500,000, the tax will be 5%. So it just means that there's going to be a big chunk of tax there that first-time buyers are now going to have to pay. With regards to people that are buying next property, so home movers, again, currently there's no stamp duty up to £250,000, but from April 25, between £125,001 and £250,000, they will incur 2% stamp duty. Afterwards, from £250,001 to £925,000, it will be 5%. So again, another chunk that you're going to have to find if you're moving. Finally, for people that are buying their second properties or third properties or investors, so somebody that's already got another property and they're buying an extra one, currently they're taxed at 5% up to £250,000. But from April, the 5% will apply up to £125,000. So then it's going to be 7% up to £250,000, and over £250,000 and £1, it's going to go to 10%. That does mean that each particular section of people, so first-time buyers, people that are moving house, and the second homeowners or investors, will now need to find extra money from the beginning of April 25 if their property transaction hasn't completed in time. I would say on the HMRC website, there is a stamp duty land tax calculator. Anybody can use it. If you go into it and plug your details in, it will tell you what the details are for your tax now. And then if you put a different date for the future, it will also tell you what it's going to be after the 1st of April. I know that's probably a lot of technical information in there, but hopefully that's just giving you a little bit of an overview.
Okay, thanks, Tony. So there is a couple of big changes there then. So Fern, how do you think that will affect the market?
I'm not a market expert, but a lot of people are saying, Halifax, for example, are saying that they think that's going to motivate first-time buyers to get themselves sorted before the 1st of April. But I mean, there's really not a lot of time between now and April, because they say that the average transaction is sort of 12 to 16 weeks, they say, don't they?
They
so
do.
Really, we're already in that. The time's ticking.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're sort of saying case by case basis, but in terms of the market, I think the people who've been most affected by this are first time buyers.
Yes.
Because the window, that sort of bracket now that what you just explained, it's 5%. Anything over 300 and up to 500, that's quite a lot. You buy, especially I think if you're a first time buyer as well, obviously you're scraping together every single penny that you can, because you're moving and probably got to buy furniture and things as well, haven't you?
Absolutely.
It's not easy.
Yes. But it is. It's not just a small difference. It actually is thousands, isn't it? Depending on which one you're going through. So that the stamp duty land tax handbook that the HMRC brought out said that, for example, if you're buying a £295,000 house as a next property, if you were buying it now before April, you would be paying stamp duty land tax of £2,250. Whereas if it's from the 1st of April onwards, it's going to be £4,750. So that's an increase of £2,500, and that's a lot of money for people to find if they're scraping to try and buy, the next best property that they can get, and they're trying to scrape everything together. So I suspect it will mean a lot of increases for mortgage advances and things like that.
Well, I think a lot of people have been hoping that the mortgage rates would come down. A lot of people are still hoping that. And there's no movement really on that.
Not at the
a couple
moment.
of them were throwing out, New Year offers, but nothing to kind of push people. It's really, really tricky, especially for first-time buyers out there.
So Tony, how do you think that it will affect our current transactions?
Well, I think like Fern was saying, I think if anybody's already in the middle of a transaction now, I think it's easier for us to gauge that and to push it through within the time scale. However, if somebody did come through to us now and say, I'm buying my first property or I'm buying another property, it's, end of January, beginning of February, we will certainly do our best to try and get it in within that time scale. I was working with residential property when we had the stamp duty land tax holiday, and that was an absolute nightmare trying to get everybody through. But you do your best, you work the hours, you try and get everything through. We can't promise it, of course, but we will certainly promise to do our best to try and get you through if we can.
Do you think this will be as bad as it was then?
I don't think so, because I think that was particularly bad with all of the changes that they were bringing in at the same time. But I certainly hope it won't be as bad as that, because that was absolutely awful.
We all hope.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think it will be. I think we've had enough warning this time that it's going to change. So, they brought the changes in 2022, and they said it would only last for a few years. So everybody's known that this is going to happen. It's just actually getting it to happen now. So I think it will be fine. I think it won't be as bad as it was.
Okay, so Fern, what happens if we do miss the deadline? And can we just clarify as well, do they have to exchange, or is it completion by deadline?
Yeah, so it's the first, mark your calendars, it's the 1st of April 2025, this is the date. And if we haven't completed by that date, so not exchange, it's completion, the higher rates are going to apply. Our plan is to certainly give everybody as much warning. I mean, we're telling people now, aren't we? We're saying, this is your stamp duty. If we haven't completed by the 1st of April, this is what your stamp duty will be. So you need to make sure that you've made preparations just in case, because unfortunately there are things that are outside of our control that will mean that we can't make that date. We'll do everything that we can, but we're not miracle workers. Sometimes things things just don't happen for whatever reason. So we said, didn't we, that we, obviously for first time buyers, this could mean, bearing in mind as well, this is something we haven't said yet, houses are getting more and more expensive, aren't they? House prices are constantly going up.
They are.
Even despite the market, even despite mortgage rates not coming down, house prices still continue to go up.
Yes.
And first time buyers, and I'll keep harking on about this, I think I just feel sorry for them in a way, because they could be paying, if they're buying in that bracket, 300 to 425, say they're buying for 425 their first house, which doesn't get you a lot these days. You're not getting a mansion.
No.
You're going to be paying an extra £6,250 in stamp duty,
which is an awful lot. Like
it's
you
a lot.
said, that's your furniture, isn't it?
That's your furniture, yeah. And then for home movers, it's actually that because it's they're just introducing that 2% again, as it was before. It's up to 2,500, isn't it, that they could be paying in addition.
Yeah.
In a way, sometimes a bit easier for home movers to just go, just stick another 2,500 on the mortgage. But it's not as easy for first-time buyers, unfortunately.
No. And sometimes if you've got to move, if you're moving with work or something, or you've lost your job or something and you need to downsize, there's lots of people that are in the market that aren't downsizing that have to then find that money.
And we said as well that a lot of first-time buyers now, I couldn't give a percentage, but I'm sure there's one out there. If we looked, a lot of first-time buyers get gifts now from family.
That's
true.
Because
of the state of the market. It's not like it used to be.
No.
I've only been in this since 2013, but even while I've been doing this, I think more and more people are getting gifts from parents and relatives and grandparents.
Yes.
in order to put that deposit money down. If they're going to have to be paying more stamp duty, that's more money that they're going to be asking from relatives.
Trying to get from other people.
You're
Absolutely.
going to be talking about gifts next time,
We
aren't
are
you?
in the next one, actually. Yeah. Source of funds and gifts. Absolutely.
So I think it's safe to say that there is a fair bit of change going on in the conveyancing world at the moment. So that's it from the residential property team on this episode. We look forward to catching up with you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.